Once upon a time, long, long ago, there lived a young shepherd boy named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers, and he helped his family by taking care of their sheep. Every morning, he would lead his flock to the greenest grass and coolest water, singing happy tunes as he went. He played his harp and sang songs praising God, the shepherd of his soul. One day, David's father told him to take some bread, cheese, and figs to his brothers who were fighting in the army of King Saul. As David approached the battlefield, he heard a loud voice booming from across the valley. Startled, he stopped and listened. There, standing over his army, was the most enormous man he had ever seen. In fact, this man was so huge that he was practically a giant. His name was Goliath, and he was a warrior from the enemy Philistine army. Every day for 40 days, Goliath had been coming out to the front of the battlefield and shouting to the Israelites, "Send me a man to fight. If he beats me, we will become your servants. But if I win, you will serve us." Day after day, the Israelite soldiers had been too afraid to accept his challenge. And so David stood there listening to this big bully. He thought, why is nobody fighting this guy? He's really not that tall? When David asked his brothers about it, they just rolled their eyes and told him to go take care of the sheep. "We're soldiers," they said. "You're a farm boy. Go back to your sheep. You don't know what you're talking about." But David didn't listen to them. He stood firm and said, "Even though I am small, the Lord is with me. I've fought off lions and bears to protect my flock. This big lug won't be any different." Now, word got around that this little shepherd boy wasn't scared of the giant Goliath, and King Saul was very surprised to hear that, so he called for David to come see him. When the king saw the young boy standing before him, he said, "You are just a child. Goliath has been a warrior since youth. You'd be no match for him." But David replied, "The Lord who saved me from the attacks of wild animals will save me from this giant too. I don't need your fancy armor and swords. I'm going to use my shepherd's sling." King Saul watched as David put on his armor. It was too big and heavy, so he took the swords, which were too long and sharp, and then David took them off and walked onto the battlefield. When Goliath saw the small boy coming towards him with just a staff and a sling, he burst out laughing. "Are you a dog? Are you sending a little boy to fight me?" David said boldly, "I come in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." That's pretty scary. I may be just a shepherd boy, but God is on my side, and you're all alone. Goliath shook his head. "You talk a good game, little one, but today I will make you my foot soldier. That is, of course, if you survive." Now Goliath raised his sword, but David was quick. He ducked under the giant's weapon and reached into his pouch for a small stone. He took a stone, placed it in his sling, and then started to swing it round and round. With a flick of his wrist, he let the stone fly. Whiz! It flew straight and true through the air like an arrow. The stone hit Goliath right in the forehead, and the giant froze. At first, David thought the stone had missed, so he kept swinging. But then he saw Goliath swaying like a tree in the wind. He stumbled. He swayed, and then with a loud crash, boom! He fell face first to the ground. The Philistine army gasped. Their mighty warrior was down. In fear, they turned and ran away. Meanwhile, the Israelites shouted in joy and chased them from the land. As for Goliath, well, his giant days were over. Later, David became the greatest king of Israel, known throughout the land as a man after God's own heart. David would look back at this day and say, "I was just a shepherd boy who believed in God. That's how I defeated the giant Goliath." And you can do great things too, if you believe in God and have faith in Him. That's the moral of the story. Hey there! I want to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our amazing stories. We've got tons of adventures waiting for you. Now, before we go, I want to share a little secret with you. Do you know that Jesus loves you very much? Yes, He does. And He wants you to know that He is your best friend forever. He's always there for you, ready to listen to your prayers and help you with your problems. Just close your eyes, say a little prayer, and Jesus will be right there with you. Now it's time to say goodbye. But remember, Jesus loves you and so do we. Bye-bye.